Good morning. Welcome to Unity Church of Sun Lakes. I'm Reverend Jeanne Maclaughlin, and I'm so grateful that you chose to be here with us today. Let's open this morning with a song that I had written, about 5 years ago now, called Return Chaos to Order.
Landing on dear Christine. It was a sign that the roof was falling and we had to get out of the scene. The stars falling down around me, mirror confusion within. I feel a sense of urgency to let go and let God in. Return chaos to order. Below and all around me, divine love is working through. I allow this possibility, and I know this to be true. With honor and integrity, the sanctuary is restored. Our roots and wings have expanded, and our dreams will not be ignored. Return chaos to order. Return chaos to order. When I listen to my heart, I will know just where to start. When I dream, I dream, I dream. Then I'll rise and spread my wings.
Return chaos to order. Just edit that. Don't ever stop the video. Let's pray in a unity fashion with affirmative prayer. Closing your eyes, dropping down into your heart center, connecting to your breath. Great Spirit, Mother, Father God, you are all-knowing, all-powerful and everywhere present. You are wise, you are kind, and you are all good. And because you dwell within each and every one of us, we also are these qualities. We are one with the divine. And so we affirm order in our lives, order in our world. We affirm that integrity has been restored. And we all know that with integrity in our life, life works. And I affirm with absolute confidence that the consciousness of our world has risen above any fear, any lack consciousness. And we affirm healing to wholeness in our bodies, our minds, and spirit. We thank you with our hearts open wide for our families, for our friends, for the health of our country, and we thank you for this glorious day, this beautiful day, that we have a chance to connect with the people around us, whether it be by a phone call or to see someone in the grocery store, to make a sweet connection, to be kind to one another is such a gift. And I affirm that what we discussed today provides support, motivation, and inspiration to each and every one of us. And so we call this service good. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Our daily word this morning is kindness. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall the ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experienced in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and my mind in a remarkably similar way when I remember kindnesses I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current, a flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindness others share with me. What does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? Micah chapter 6, verse 8. And now a reading from our co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore's book on prosperity. And this is just a short reading today. And it comes from in the middle of the prodigal son's parable. The next act of the father was to put a gold ring on the prodigal son's finger. Another evidence of prosperity. The Father's desire for us is unlimited good, not merely the means of a meager existence. The ring symbolizes the unlimited, that to which there is no end. It also represents omnipresence and omnipotence in the manifest world. When the Father gave that ring to the Son, he gave him the key to all life activity. It was a symbol of his being, a son and heir to all that the Father had. All that is mine is thine. The Father gives us all that he has, and his omnipotence, omniscience, all love, and all substance when we return to the consciousness of his house of plenty. And now we will sing the Lord's Prayer.
Oh, presence and power within us, being of light of all, how we are filled, how we are flow within, send it love and gladness. We shall this day sow grace and peace and show mercy to all and gentle loving kindness. And we shall not be self-serving, but a constant source of giving. For ours is the essence and the fullness and the wholeness
We have spent the last few weeks focusing on Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore's classic book, Prosperity, which examines abundant living as a way of life. And that is exactly what we are doing during the month of November. We are examining how to create abundant living as a way of life. And here's an interesting little tidbit that you might not realize about this book. It was originally published in 1936. Yes. What was happening in America in 1936? The Great Depression was in full swing. Here's a guy writing a book to teach people how to have prosperity consciousness when the entire country is deeply seated in lack consciousness. He sure had his work cut out for him, but clearly he was undaunted. Likewise, our country is deeply seated in lack consciousness, which is why I chose to speak on prosperity this month. I think having the historical perspective makes this passage even more meaningful. The spiritual substance from which comes all visible wealth is never depleted. It is right with you all the time and responds to your faith in it and your demands on it. It is not affected by our ignorant talk of hard times, though we are affected because of our thoughts and words govern our demonstration. Pour your living words of faith into the omnipresent substance, and you will be prospered through all the banks in the world. Though all the banks in the world close their doors. Realizing when that was written gives so much power to the words that are already so very, very powerful. So today we're going to explore this concept. Rich in ideas, rich in life. And we will. But there is something else that I'm feeling called to do this morning. I'm very aware that we had a very divisive election and we have a country divided. And whichever side of the fence that you fall on, and we are definitely not here to debate the sides. I think it is accurate to say that some emotional healing needs to take place all the way around. So that needs to happen today as well. This is actually related to our topic because we cannot be filled with rich ideas and experience a rich life if we are clogged up emotionally. It just can't happen. Being emotionally clogged is like a dam all the way around our hearts, holding back the mighty living waters of God's inspiration, God's ideas, clarity, and creativity. And those waters will be held back until the dam is broken through. Not only do blocked emotions act like a dam holding back the flow of inspiration and ideas, clarity and creativity from being expressed through us, that blocked emotions are also like a solid brick wall all the way around us, keeping the abundant flow of God, of good, from reaching us. Now, I don't think any of us want that, do we? So then it is part of our deep, high, and holy spiritual work to clear those blocks. And we absolutely must do it. Jeremiah 29, verse 11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." In the Science of Mind textbook, page 37, Ernest Holmes writes, "It meaning God, is ready to fill everything because it is infinite. So it is not a question of its willingness, nor of its ability. It is entirely a question of our own receptivity. We are not receptive if we are emotionally blocked, plain and simple. And yet, we can't spiritually bypass our emotions either. And you know what spiritual bypass means? We love to do it in New Thought circles. Something's hurtful or upsetting or bothering us, and we immediately say, oh, it's all God. It's all good. Or divine right order, it's taking place. Or we're all one. Or God's goodness is at the center of all things. And those things are absolutely, totally, 100% true. In fact, they are spiritual truths. But if we immediately go to them without acknowledging and truly feeling our feelings, whatever we're feeling, then the unacknowledged, unfelt feelings are stuffed and actually become the building blocks of the dam within us and the wall around us. Let me say that again because it's really important. Without acknowledging and truly feeling whatever we are feeling, the unacknowledged, unfelt feelings are stuffed and actually become the building blocks of the dam within us and the wall all the way around us. We have to feel the feelings to heal the hurt, to open up to experience rich ideas and a rich life. But of course, if we just stay feeling the feelings, then we also build the dam and the brick wall. So the key is to feel the feelings, but don't take up residence in them. Once I heard it said, when you are going through hell, keep going, don't stop and build a condo. So I ask a very important and pointed question this morning, which does not require a verbal answer, but please answer it honestly in your own heart. Have you either spiritually bypassed your feelings about the election and what has recently occurred in our nation and our world, or have you built a condo of upset and resentment, fear and blaming, and taken up residence? If you have spiritually bypassed your feelings, please do what you need to do to feel whatever feelings you have. Speak to someone who can hold space for you while you have your little hissy fit. Or call me. Or call someone in our congregation. There are many good listeners in our congregation. Many good affirmative prayers in our congregation that can lift you after you've felt your feelings. Beat a pillow with a tennis racket. Whatever it takes. And then open yourself up to the possibility of forgiveness. That's where the healing begins. Or if you are living in the condo of resentment, upset, or fear, could today be the day that you let the healing begin? Remember, once again, blocked emotions act like a dam, holding back the flow of rich inspiration and ideas, clarity and creation. And they are also like a solid brick wall around us, keeping the abundant flow of good from reaching us. To help tear down the dam and the wall, I want to offer up this morning a powerful prayer of forgiveness. It is the Buddhist prayer of forgiveness that I invite you to be with this morning. Be with it if you have anything going on inside around our political, global, environmental situation. or if you are clear there, anything, anywhere else in your life where you think there is a block. So I ask you now to close your eyes and be with these words as I slowly recite them. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions, I forgive them. And if there is a situation I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all the ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my confusions, I forgive myself. Take a deep breath, settle in more deeply as you allow these words to be embodied in you as I say them one more time. If I have harmed anyone in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through my own confusions, I ask their forgiveness. If anyone has harmed me in any way, either knowingly or unknowingly, through their own confusions, I forgive them. And if there is a situation I am not yet ready to forgive, I forgive myself for that. For all the ways that I harm myself, negate, doubt, belittle myself, judge, or be unkind to myself through my confusions, I forgive myself. Take a couple deep breaths and bring your attention back into this room. Open your eyes when you are ready. By doing that, you have just created a beautiful space for ideas, inspiration, clarity, and creativity to flow. So good job. And let's widen them even more by looking at a profound passage from Prosperity on page 89. It's a little bit long, but it's very rich, so please bear with me. We are sometimes asked whether we advocate the accumulation of riches. No. The accumulation of riches is futile unless it is the outgrowth of a rich consciousness. We advocate the accumulation, rather, of rich ideas. Ideas that are useful, constructive, and of service to the well-being of all humankind. The outer manifestation of riches may follow or it may not. But the supply for every need will be forthcoming because the person of rich ideas has confidence in an all-providing power that never fails. He or she may not have an extra dollar, but the ideas have merit. And he or she has confidence, a combination that cannot fail to attract the money to carry him forward. This is true riches, not an accumulation of money, but access to an inexhaustible resource that can be drawn on at any time to meet any righteous demand. When a person has a rich consciousness, there is no necessity for laying up gold or accumulating stocks and bonds or other property to ensure future supply. Such a one may be most generous with his wealth without fear of depletion, because his rich ideas will keep him in constant touch with abundance. That last line is so powerful. Such a one, meaning the one who has a rich consciousness, may be most generous with his wealth without fear of depletion, because his rich ideas will keep him in constant touch with abundance. I love the idea that ideas are God's first currency. And that is what Fillmore is speaking about here in this passage. Our rich ideas, which are ever available, will always lead to whatever financial abundance that we could need. So say this after me. My rich ideas create rich results. My rich ideas create rich results. Your rich ideas may bring you to a job, to a relationship, to a project, to a new way to pitch your product, to a new product, to an invention. Did you know that many inventions that change the way we do things come out of the Great Depression? Here are just a few. Jacob Schick drew up designs for the world's first electric dry razor after he was fed up of lathering up to shave in the freezing cold since he had no heat in his home. By 1929, his razors were on the shelves. This is how the company we know today as Schick came out. The car radio was invented by Paul and Joseph Galvin, who needed new revenue after the financial crash. Designs were drawn in 1930, and by 1933, Ford was manufacturing cars to include radios. Later on, the brothers changed their name from Galvin Manufacturers to a company that I worked for 22 years. You might have heard of it, Motorola. Here's a really important invention. Chocolate chip cookies evolved in 1933 after Ruth Wakefield couldn't get any baker's chocolate to bake chocolate cookies. So she decided to cut up a chocolate bar and put it in her cookie dough instead, resulting in chocolate chips. Soon, Nestle bought her recipe, and the rest, as they say, is history. After J.F. Cantrell noticed that only wealthy people and those that had electricity available could use powered washing machines, he opened the world's first laundromat. In 1934, he charged people by the hour to use his 4 washing machines. And finally, the game Monopoly was invented in 1935 after Charles Darrow decided to give people something to be entertained with after all the sadness of the Depression. Yes, rich ideas definitely create rich results. I love the way Elizabeth Gilbert, in her book Big Magic, shares how inspired ideas function. It's a fascinating twist which we talk about, but it bears repeating. She suggests that we think about ideas as energetic life forms floating around in the ethers. Think of it this way. God expressing as creativity is an infinite number of formless ideas floating around. At this point, the ideas have no material body. But in Gilbert's viewpoint, they are driven by a single impulse: to be made manifest in our physical world. The trick for many of these formless ideas is that the only way they can be made manifest in our world is through collaboration with a human partner. Therefore, ideas spend eternity swirling all around us, searching for available and willing human partners. When an idea thinks it has found somebody who might be able to bring it into the world, say one of us perhaps, it will pay us a visit. It will try to get our attention. Chances are fairly good that we won't notice it. Perhaps we're so consumed by our own dramas, anxieties or distractions, insecurities and duties, or busyness, that we aren't receptive to inspiration. We might miss the signal because we're doing really important things in our lives, like watching TV, or brooding over how angry we are at somebody, or pondering our failures and mistakes, or other equally important activities that occupy our time and our headspace. The idea will try to wave us down, perhaps for a few moments, perhaps for a few months, perhaps for a few years. But when it finally realizes we aren't open to being enchanted by its inspiration, it will leave us and move on to someone else. But sometimes, Gilbert writes, there comes a moment when you're open and relaxed enough to actually receive something. Your defenses might slacken a little, and your anxieties might ease. And then magic can slip through. The idea, sensing your openness, will start to do its work on you. It will send the universal physical and emotional signals of inspiration. The chills up the arms, the hair standing on the back of your neck, the nervous stomach, the buzzy thoughts, that feeling of falling in love. And then, in a quick moment, it will ask, do you want to work with me? Has anyone ever had that experience? And at this point, you, of course, have two options for how to respond. The simplest answer is often the easiest answer, and sometimes the right answer for you is just to say no. And then you're off the hook. The idea will eventually go away, and you don't need to bother with it. It may not be the right time for you. It may not really be the idea for you. Gilbert writes on page 37, I have many times been approached by ideas that I know are not right for me. And I've politely said to them, I'm honored by your visitation, but I'm not your girl. May I respectfully suggest that you call upon Tony Corrigan? I always try to use my most gracious manners when sending an idea away. You don't want word getting around to the universe that you're difficult to work with. Whatever is your response, though, do be sympathetic to the poor idea. Remember, all it wants is to be realized. It's trying its best. It seriously has to knock on every door that it can. So you might say no, and that's perfectly fine. When you say no, nothing happens at all with you, and then the idea will move on to someone else. But here's something really important to get. Have any of you ever had an idea, decided for whatever reason not to pursue it, and then seen that same idea brought into form by someone else, and you think, hey, they stole my idea? I've had that happen. Well, we don't ever get to think that again, because we, my friends, were not open to accumulating it. And so it found someone else who was. No blame or guilt here. Just complete personal responsibility. which is an important aspect of our New Thought teachings, right? So we have the choice to say no and let the idea go. But then again, sometimes rich ideas for expressing the greater life, land on us, and we receive the universal physical and emotional signals of inspiration. The chills up the arms and the hair standing up on the back of the neck, the nervous stomach, the buzzy thoughts. And we just might say yes. What then? Well, we can approach it with fear of, oh my gosh, can I do this? Am I good enough? Will it work? If we entertain them, we won't bring forth this rich idea into form. Or we can embrace the inspiration, be entirely mesmerized by the idea, roll our sleeves up and get to work. That's what Fillmore is telling us to do when he wrote in the passage that I read earlier. We advocate the accumulation of rich ideas that are useful, constructive, and of service to the well-being of all humankind. So I challenge you this morning. First, if you want to be a person upon whom the rich ideas floating in the ethers will land, if you want to become the inviting receptacle, then do your forgiveness work. We did something this morning, perhaps there's more to be done. And then, when those ideas land, don't ignore them. At least give them some good consideration. And don't let fear stop you from catching them and acting upon them. Ernest Holmes, in Creative Mind and Success, gave us some great wisdom when he wrote on page 67, when we feel that we do have the right leading, when that something inside us tells us that we are led, then no matter what it appears like, we must follow it. Something beyond our intelligence is doing the thing through us, and we must do nothing to contradict it. Great men are the ones who get a vision and then go to work to make it come true, never looking to one side, but with one pointedness and calm determination. Stick to the thing until it is accomplished. Whatever idea you may have, big or small, go for it. This is how you deal in the currency of ideas, and how supply for your every need will be forthcoming. It is because you have become a person that is rich in ideas and rich in life. I just recently experienced this when I had the idea to sell my house. That one idea that I acted on immediately changed my entire life. So let's prepare for meditation now with the song In This Moment.
Here I am, here and now, in this moment. Here I am, in the place I am meant to be. Nothing can hurt me, nothing can shake me. I am free.
Closing your eyes if you haven't already. Connecting to your breath once again. Dropping into that kingdom of heaven within you. The realm of God. The realm of ideas. Divine ideas. See them swirling above your head, waiting for your acknowledgement. The divine feminine is always ready to give us that which we desire. It is us that has to be open to receive, to let the flow of our good come to us. So here, in this space, in the silence, make that sweet connection to divine ideas. My divine ideas create rich results. Now visualizing yourself being open to receive, placing a beautiful smile on your face. Deepening your breath and coming back into your space. We have another song written by Barb Horton called Change It Up.
It's just the way of the spirit, trying to let me know that it's time to change it up. I can sit still and stand my ground, let it go and just allow it. Change it up, change it up, change it up. Change it up. Nation is just the way of the spirit, trying to let change it up. I can make the couch my best of friends, or open up and let the world in and change it up. Change it up. Change it up. Change it up. Change it up, change it up, change it up, change it up. Elation is the reward of the spirit. Change it up, trying to let me know. I let go and change it up, change it up. I am living in the here and now. Embrace the change once I allowed it. Change it up. 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 Change it up.
And now it is time for our offering. So bringing your tithe into mind, placing it on your heart, seeing your tithe being put into the flow for the world to benefit from your share. As we say together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give. And now we will sing together our offering song, I Am So Blessed by Karen Drucker.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I am. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I give. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am blessed. We give thanks for these many blessings of today, and know they are but a symbol of the inexhaustible substance of the universe. I give thanks that 10 times as much is now on its way to me and quickly manifests in perfect ways. Thank you, God. We do have a board meeting today. We're doing something special today, and we are going to be meeting in the park. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the park, but it's in Chandler. And we're meeting at Reverend Maria's at 12:30.
together and then drive over to the park. So things are going extremely well at the church, despite the fact that we are not meeting. I want to thank each and every one of you for your love, your support, your gratitude. And if you are in a place where you need support, please reach out. We are here to help. We are here to pray. If you need anything, reach out. And also, just a quick reminder to keep doing your gratitude journal, your daily gratitude journal. We're doing this for the next 40 days during the month and beyond. So, all right, let's close with the peace song and our prayer for protection.
With me, let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally.
And now our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. May God bless each and every one of you. Have a great week.